Why is system process listening on port 80? I am running Windows 7 RC1. I have multiple issues getting ease to work on my system, and today when I installed a new application and I tried to load it using http://localhost/my application, I get absolutely no errors and I get no page load. Just a pretty, white blank page. I did some digging and I found something about some other process listening on port 80, so I did a scan using Netstat Aeon, Finster 0.0 column 80, and discovered that PID4 was listening on that port. PID4 does not show in Task Manager, so I fired up Process Explorer and it showed me that PID4 is the system process. Multiple Google searches seems to indicate that system always uses PID4. Since then I am basically stuck. I have no idea why system needs port 80 and what to do about it. If you Google the following strings, you will find 2 helpful experts exchange articles at the top of the search results, and you can read them for some helpful information. If I gave the direct URL to the pages, then Experts Exchange would ask you to pay, but when you click on the results from a Google search you can scroll all of the way to the bottom to read the exchanges. Here are the Google searches. System process is listening on port 80, Vista. System process is listening on port 80 and preventing EASE default website from running. The last entry from the first result showed how to do a trace of http://sys at the following URL. This URL trace showed nothing useful. Any thoughts?
This post on getting Apache to run on port 80 on Windows 7, Internet Archive, describes your point. It seems the http://sys, Windows Remote Management service is enabled by default in Windows 7. Run through the comments on that link for some more notes. The hyphen site does not necessarily have the only answers.
Web Deployment Agent service runs on port 80 as system. You might have this running if you are using WebMatrix.
Open services.msc and stop this service. SQL Server reporting services MySQL Server. I had tried everything, but that worked for me. Further instructions on how to stop that service are below. Right-click on my computer. Select Manage. Double-click Services and Applications. Then double-click Services. Right-click on SQL Server reporting services MySQL Server. Select Stop, and voila, port 80 was released.
You can stop the HTTP service temporarily from the command line. Run an administrator command prompt, for example start, search for CMD, right-click on it, choose Run as Administrator, approve the UAC prompt if any. Type netstop HTTP. If there are other running services that depend on the HTTP service, you'll get a list. Double-check to see if there's anything listed there you can't bear to do without. Or, if you're just stopping HTTP to use port 80 temporarily, make a note of those dependent services that you'll want to restart once you're done with the port. Either way, if it's okay, enter Y to continue. Some dependent services might throw up stop control warnings that cancel the operation. Just repeat netstop HTTP until it is stopped, i.e. until it says the HTTP service was stopped successfully. Later on, you can restart any of the dependent services, using netstart, or by using the services item in administrative tools. Open it more quickly by Win+ or running services.msc, where you can pick the services from a list, and the HTTP service will be started again automatically.